Hey everybody, can everybody hear me? Looks like everything's working. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to join here. Hey Peter, hey Robert. Yeah, you got a couple minutes, Robert. Steven, welcome back. All right, welcome back. Where's everybody coming from? I'm still in Colorado again this week. Peter, welcome back. Robert, Steven, Jack. I think we got North Carolina, Australia, Tennessee. Peter, I don't remember. Hey, Samoan from Cincinnati. Southern California, West Virginia. That's right, Peter. Barking Shelty. I think this is your first time on here. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody had a good week. I didn't set up my camera today, but we'll go over a couple things. Thank you everybody who sent in pictures of your print. We'll probably spend a majority of the time looking and analyzing everybody's print. So thank you everybody for sending that in. I really appreciate that. So what I'm doing today, let me tell you, last week's video with calibrating this eSun PLA Plus, you'll see in the picture today, I've printed, I think, close to 30 of those honeycomb plates because I'm building like a new little studio thing. And I haven't had one error on those, and I haven't used the flow calibration at all. So tonight what I'm doing is doing the calibration for the Bambu, because I tried the Bambu filament and it did not print well without doing the flow calibration. So I already did the pressure advance test, and I went ahead and saved this as calibrated Bambu Lab Basic. As you can see here, checked the pressure advance. It was 12 millimeters where it was the best on the one that we did there, or that I did there. So I went ahead and changed that to 0.024 like the instructions are on there. Does anybody have any questions over doing any of the calibrations or anything like that, or any Barking Sheltie, you're new here, do you have any questions about the Bambu or anything at all that any of us can help you answer? Otherwise, I'm going to do the flow rate. We'll do the first pass of the flow rate here, and I'm using the blue stuff there. And remember, on this, I'm really only expecting one of these three to be in there. And on some tutorials, I've even seen where people have removed those, but I'll go ahead and print those as well. Looks like it's only about a 30-minute print there. So one weird thing about Orca Slicer here is generally whenever you go through here and hit print, and it even says at the bottom here that it's supposed to automatically take you to the device page. And it does not do that. It's pretty funny. Has anybody else seen that issue as well? It doesn't flip over to the device page. See, it says will automatically jump. And then nothing. It doesn't flip over to a stupid thing. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Has anybody else seen that? Is anybody using Orca, or are you still on Bambu? I'll tell you, the best prints that I've had on the Bambu so far have been the calibrated eSun ones that I did. And looking under the camera really made a difference. And somebody made a suggestion to put your light source horizontal to the piece that you're looking at. And you'll be able to see the imperfections and tune it even more. Yeah, Stephen, whenever you get brave, move over to Orca and start tuning your filaments, and you'll save 7 minutes on the beginning of every print. Plus, I'll say, like, all of the honeycomb walls that I printed for the video and just in this, in my little hobby room here in general, not every single one of them, you know, doing the flow calibration and all of that every time, not every single one of them was perfect. Matter of fact, like, all the ones that are on the bottom row have some sort of defect, and I had to put them on the bottom row because I couldn't put the connectors on everything else. So I've printed out, like I said, I think I'm on 27 of these things with no errors on there coming from Orca Slicer on that eSun filament. And I tuned it in one color, and I'm using these other two colors over here. I tuned it in the orange, and I've been using this black and this white because I'm going to make a checkered pattern, black and white, for this other room that I'm doing. And these things, not one error out of all of them, and at best quality, all on the PEI plate too. I haven't had one of them move. I haven't had any errors. And like I said, on all of the other honeycomb plates that I did with flow calibration on, they were not perfect. I've had so much success that I'm even coming in tonight and doing the flow cal, and I wanted y'all to see firsthand that I'm coming in here and doing all of this calibration for the Bambu stuff so I can do the same thing. Because I tried to print a plate with this without doing flow calibration. Did not work. Did not work, so I did that. So that's interesting. Everybody looks like they're still on using Bambu Studio. Yeah, I'm going to use Orca until it makes me mad. That's generally how I gauge those things, is I use them until they make me mad, and then I'll find something else. Not necessarily that Bambu Studio made me mad, but there's a couple of other things here with that'll be relevant to my channel in the next couple of months. But there's some other things that you can do within Orca Slicer that you can't do within Bambu Studio. And one of them is, if you click on this gear right here in Bambu Studio 2, you have access to all of these other printers. So you can actually control and slice things for all of these other printers, as well as doing all of the calibration and all of that stuff for all of these other printers. Even these Chinese ones, the rat rigs, all of that. There's not as many options. There are still some options in Bambu Studio, but there's not as many options in there. There's some of the Vorons, but not all of these Voron Trident and all of that stuff in here. But there's way more options here. Or if you're using Clipper or Marlin, you can just use a generic one of these as well. I think this is the firmware that most of them use anyway. But that's one other thing, is you can, if you have more than just a Bambu lab, you can do that. Let's see, we've got some questions in here or comments. I have actually been looking at all my filament over 8 years old, and the cheap ones I have now crap keep breaking, so get rid of them. Yeah, if they do that. The you'll see in the picture of the honeycomb plates that I did today, I think I have 17 of them. That filament, it was still sealed though. That filament was over a year old. But yeah, if it gets too old, it starts breaking and cracking and all of that. I'm actually going to donate our public library at work, since they have just purchased a PLA recovery system. That's awesome. That is pretty awesome. I don't know of a place around here. I'm sure there's a place around here on how to do all of that. Might be something worth looking into to do for video on my channel. And do some of that. But yeah, this is one thing that I think is going to be relevant to my channel in the very near future. As well, so you can do that. And the other thing that you don't have access to in Studio is this pressure advance. But I think that's what the flow calibration does. But if you use the PEI plate, man, that thing doesn't work very well on there from what I found. And I've been printing really, really well on all of this. It's been doing very, very well. But we'll let that print. And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, go ahead and put them in the chat here. And otherwise, I'm going to start bringing up everybody's prints here. Heat old filament, then pour into silicone molds. That's a good idea, Samoan. All right, so let's start taking a look at some of the prints. And if you're on here, if you want to say anything about your prints, go ahead and say something about them. But I think these are from Mr. Simoleon himself right there. And I think he had some notes on the email. I think this is at 150%. I have a bender. That's so awesome. I have a bender saved in my printables collections that I just haven't got to printing yet. Are the question that I had, are the arms and legs articulating, or are they fixed in place? Yeah, I think it looks really cool, huh? That's a good filament. What kind of filament is that as well? Super cool. Really cool. Thank you, everybody, again. Thank you, everybody, for sending in your prints. And it looks like everybody had a busy week with their printers, so that's always good as well. This one is fixed. Yeah, I think the one that I have is that I want to print is fixed too. I was wondering if there was one with at least like articulating arms or something like that. That'd be cool. Anybody that's awesome at Fusion 360 or whatever, if y'all want to knock that out for me and Samoan real quick, let us know. That's awesome. But yeah, really cool. Really cool. That looks really, really good. That thing's huge too. That's really awesome. So here's the next one. This one looks pretty cool too. Let's see, how many colors is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors? Or 6 colors? Is that the 7th color, the jewel right there? Or is that the same color as the shirt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, is that 7 colors, Samoan? Seven colors printed in parts. All the parts were different, or did you do any of this in multicolor? And that one you said, I think, is at 150% as well, so it's pretty big. No multicolor. Awesome. 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 All right, let's go to the next one. What's the filament you used on this one? This is super shiny black. I really like that. That's a very, very shiny black. 16 inches for Rick and Morty, 18 inches for Bender. Yeah, when I first saw this, Molly, and I was just like, wow, that's super shiny black. Any tips on preventing the bamboo spools coming unlocked during a print? This happened to me last week, and I spent 2 hours holding the reel together and feeding the AMS when it tugged. The black has no label. So, Peter, let me ask you this question. Was that a roll that was a refill that you put into a spool? And the reason why I asked that question, if you go back and you look at my Snoopy print, one of the reasons that I had to print it again was I didn't put the refill into the filament roll correctly, and I didn't get that piece of cardboard cut out in the notch correctly, and it caused it to slip and to do all exactly what you said, and I had to take it apart and put it back together, and it was a nightmare, that entire roll. So if that is the case, you got to make sure that you get that little notch in there. And if you did and it didn't do that, then I'm gonna have to go to the roll or the spool that you're using. Did you print it out? What did you print it out of? and different things like that, because I haven't had one separate, but I print all of them in PC that I'm using. Lost a brand new roll. See, mine, I had a red roll that did that, but it was I'm almost positive, and the reason why I say that is because I was as you guys will watch in my videos, I don't read any instructions, I just dive in. So I didn't read how to do that, and I know I didn't put that little notch in the right place, and it was kind of tough for it to get on, and it wasn't snapping together right, and all of that stuff. But otherwise, I would look at the roll and look at the pieces where it snaps together. And I think there is a certain way. I think there's longer tabs and shorter tabs whenever you're looking in the cylinder part and snapping it together. Peter, make sure you got that piece of it right as well. And that may have caused it to separate there. But those would be the things that I would look at there. If you figure something out and have a tip for us, though, let us know in one of the chats or something. This is super cool filament and really, really glossy black. And this next one, I know a lot of our RC fans, I think it's this little stand for your Traxxas here that you made, Samoa. Where did you design this, or did you get it from somewhere? Can you share the print with us or share the file with us? But it was in the notch. It was a Bambu Lab spooled. See, that's weird. The only thing that I can think of is, did you make sure, because there's like a long tab and a short tab when you're putting the spools together, and there's like a wide opening and a short opening there in the cylindrical part. That could be that's the only other thing that I can think of. Or Robert, you probably have the most experience out of all of us. What do you think? Got it from printables. Yeah, I know a lot of folks in our RC community would be pretty interested in that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool stand. And it's a cool truck. And I think you printed these wheel cover parts as well. Is that right, Samoa? Yeah, take a look at that, Peter. I didn't notice that at first either, but you'll see that the little tabs and the little holes on the other side, there's a long one and a short one. And maybe you got that crossed and that popped it out or something. That's all I can think of. Sunlu PLA metal. Good to know. Good to know, Samoa. Good to know. All right. Awesome prints. Thank you for sharing and being on tonight, Samoa. Really, really appreciate you doing that. Let's see. So next, I believe, is Steven. And Steven, you have to remind me what kind of filament is this again, because this is another one that turned out really, really cool. It's some sort of silk. This one is really nice. That turned out really, really nice, Steven. Sunlu silk. Yeah, that turned out really nice. That's really, really shiny. Now, can you drink out of it? Just kidding. That's awesome. That one turned out really, really nice. Now, did you print that in normal layer mode, or is this one of the ones that you can print in the vase mode or whatever it is? What is that called? Uh-oh, looks like we have an error. What is that mode called? Where do you change it for like the vase mode or whatever it's called? Do you guys remember? Let me go see what this error is. Ooh, got some spaghettification, Bambu. Can y'all see the tool head fell off? And that's why I had an error on live TV. Yep, head cover came off. That's pretty interesting. It's done that before. It has a lot of infill. Let me go back to the pictures here. Yeah, I don't think you'd need a whole lot of infill on that one. Vase mode is only for a single wall, I think. I think so too. The walls are 10 mil thick. Yeah, that one turned out really good. It just looks really cool. All right, let's go to your next one as well, Steven. Your next one I thought was cool. And you said that you had to print some extensions for the arm and I think for this piece as well. That thing's huge. Did you print it in separate pieces or in one multicolor print? On Facebook, people have mentioned using tape to hold the cover more securely. Yeah, that comes off every once in a while. It's held by magnets. I wonder if there's some stronger magnets, some that we can get. And you printed everything separately. Yeah, that one looks really cool. You should make it where it's like holding something up or something like that. That'd look really cool. Put it on the toilet. Oh, is that for... that's awesome. All right, that's cool. That's super cool. It's the... I call those poop tickets. Because you need tickets for that ride, right? Just kidding. That's a really cool idea. That's really that's awesome. That's a really cool one, man. I like that. That's really nice. Hey DW, welcome back. Welcome back. That's pretty awesome. All right, yeah, I like that one. That was pretty cool. And what you're going to use it for is even cooler. That's pretty funny. All right, and this next one, I don't know if Colorado Adventure Club, that's another YouTube channel, another guy that's up here in Colorado. that I met who does some really cool 3D prints with some lights and stuff on here. I don't know if he is on here. If you are, you can tell us about this. You can get Homer and Darth Vader. I need the Homer Simpson poop ticket holder. That's awesome. Yeah, so Colorado Adventure Club, he does some pretty cool prints with lights and stuff like that and paints them, and all of that is pretty cool. He's got some pretty cool pictures, and we can all notice that he did the honeycomb wall with the rest of us as well. But he sent these prints in for us. Really cool with the lights. He does some really cool stuff with the LED lights. Hey, Heather. Yeah, these look really nice. Yeah, very detailed. I wish he was on here to talk more about these. They look really, really cool, though, with the lights and everything. He does a really good job with these. Very, very creative. And then Samoa, like I said, you know, that little stand that you printed, share that with me, and I'll get it on the forum somewhere, because there's a lot of people out here doing RC stuff. And I believe this whole body here is printed on the Bambu. This is Colorado Adventure Club as well, if y'all want to look him up on YouTube. He does a lot of cool stuff. Some more with the lights. This one's really cool too. I like the eyes. It looks really cool. Let's check back in on it. Finally got done doing the bed leveling. All right. And I believe this one is from Jack from Tennessee there. It's a filament spool roller. I've been wanting to make one of these as well. What is this one made out of? Did you get to order in for the lithograph? I did get one in this week, Robert. So 2-3 weeks I'll probably make a video on it. I got a bunch of stuff kind of backed up on the video stuff, but yeah, I did get an order in. I think it's going to be here on Tuesday. I should get it. So I may take some pictures with my camera and try to print those out and see how that works out and make a video out of it. Have you got it yet, Robert? Have you tried it out? Same here. Looks like you're going to get some PLA. Is that the Bambu PLA or what brand of PLA, Jack? Anything specific? Maybe Friday. Still in boxes, Steven. Bambu. Yeah, this looks like the same brown that I have that I used in the Mandalorian. I think that's the same brown there, and I think I have that same color of gray. Does this work well? Is this the one off of printables or whatever? I've seen a couple of these. Have you used it? Does it work well? Would you recommend it? Hey, Dud, how are you? Where are you coming from? Heather, where are you coming from? We all give a shout out as to where in the world we are. We have people from Australia, Idaho, West Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Ohio. Printables works good. Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth. All right. Welcome, Dud. Welcome. Another Tennessee. All right. Tennessee's a popular place. I've been there several times. I used to live in Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., and I covered 9 states, and Tennessee was one of them. And I got to travel there and go to Vanderbilt University a whole bunch of times and work on some really, really, really cool stuff there. So Tennessee's a good spot. Very humid, always green everywhere. And it seemed like it rained every time I drove through Tennessee. It's pretty funny. This is really cool. Jack, I'm going to have to get one of these as well because I do want to buy some of those 2 kilo rolls and wind them down into one. Or another video I want to do is on the Hydra replacement as well. That's the downside of having a YouTube channel, is all the cool stuff you have to make a video out of, so it sometimes takes a whole lot longer. And you have to wait sometimes to do the stuff. Good problem to have. But really cool print. And I'll show you guys, this is what I was saying, this is what I've been printing all week, is these honeycomb walls. And like I said, this white E-Sun right here is that same PLA Plus, but you'll see in last week's video, I actually tuned it with the orange filament. And this stuff was over a year old, but it was sealed in the package. I'd never opened up the package or whatever. But it printed good. There's no errors on there. And on the honeycomb walls that I have now, on some of these, it would be thin and this would roll up. So like I was saying, I'd have to put it on the bottom or whatever where the errors were. But this stuff printed out well, really well. And then here's the black PLA Plus from E-Sun as well. And it printed really well. So well that's why I'm tuning the Bambu filament this evening. Thank you, Barking Sheltie. Yeah, I'm turning another room. My little hobby closet that I do stuff in here is getting a little overwhelmed with the YouTube channel, so I'm building a new little studio, and I'm going to do kind of a checkered pattern with that black and white on the wall and stuff. Your filament of choice is E-Sun. When I had my Creality printer going, that was what I used, was the E-Sun. Mainly, is not the cheapest out there, but it's pretty reasonably priced. But I just ordered some more of this white today, and it'll be here tomorrow from Amazon. And that's really the real reason why I get the E-Sun, is because I can get that stuff overnight. And it prints good. I've had really good success with the E-Sun. I like the Bambu filament too. It's a little bit pricey, but it's really good filament as well. So I do like that as well, but it takes, a week to get it. But yeah, the E-Sun, I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of the E-Sun, and they got some pretty cool colors too. Some pretty cool colors. Their white and their black is pretty good. Their black is usually about $20 too. And again, it's overnight for here. I can usually get it the very next day, which is really good. It's one of the reasons why I recommend the E-Sun, and why I did my first filament calibration, like a real good one, was on the eSun, and that's why, because I use it a lot. So I think I have 4 colors on this now: the black, the white, the orange, and the yellow. Yeah, I did the orange and the yellow in the video, and then you can see I printed all of these out this week. They all turned out perfect. I mean, they are all perfect. All on the, this is all on the Pei plate too, with no flow calibration. All from the tune that I did. Ooh, looks like we got some more errors there. So that video was from earlier today. Wow, that was pretty weird. That was from right before the stream started. That's pretty weird. That's awesome. Wow, that did not do so well. Look at that. It's got a nice little error on these. But like I said, on these, this is changing the flow rate by 5% at a time, which is a lot. So this is minus 20 plus 20 over here. And that's what I mean. Really, I think you could get away with just printing these 3 middle cards right here. And I think you can do that if you just unselect everything. Yeah. So you can actually go in here and deselect those. Those I'm not really worried about. It's these ones in the middle, because again, if it's more than 5% off, there's probably something else wrong. See, the RC stand was at Colts as Traxxas X-Max work stand. Thank you for that, Samoa. I know a lot of our RC guys out there and gals out there would love to have that. Let's check back in on it. So yeah, you can see on that minus 20 flow rate, it really messed it up there. And again, I'm only really concerned with the 3 that are in the middle there. The camera isn't happy tonight on that one. Has anybody else done any of the calibration or done any of that stuff? I really like the Pei plate for the simple fact that stuff just comes right off of there. You don't have to mess with it and peel it and do all of that stuff. But I was disappointed because the print results were not consistent at all with that. Let's see, Steven, Barking Shelty, you have, what is your experience on the calibration? It worked okay for me. The trick, again, was the camera. Once I used the camera, it worked really well. You did the same eSun for the Pei plate. Good, good. I found my old eSun, and 3D Fuel has lasted the best over the years. Yeah, that white that you guys just saw is over a year old. Only problem, the 3D Fuel spools are too large, but now I found Sunlu more available down under with more colors available. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have success with the Sunlu. A couple things you can do there is you can print out that same thing that Jack printed out, that spool, that spool roller, and if you can take those larger spool rolls and you know, just roll it down to like a bamboo roll or whatever. That's one quick way to get around it. The other thing I think is the Hydra. If you have the AMS, which I think you do, Stephen, you can do the Hydra modification and it will hold those larger rolls or whatever. The Paramount filament rolls as well are a little bit large, and the lid on the AMS won't close all the way, but they have the coolest colors. Paramount has some of the coolest colors that I've seen for filament colors. Been wanting to start with Orca. Yeah, I would highly recommend it, Simoleon. You just run these tests, and the trick here, again, you're only really looking at the middle ones there, but pull it up on a camera and you can zoom in, and then you know exactly which one you need to go with. It makes it super easy from there. 90% on the, you've been pretty fortunate on the PEI plate, 90%. Yeah, I was not having success with the PEI plate at all. You have the other spool loader and you've been using that, Steven? Okay, okay. And DW used the engineering plate for everything. You know, I have not used the engineering plate, I don't think, for anything. I don't think I have. And I think what would be really good on the engineering plate, and DW will have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I bet it puts like almost a glass finish on the bottom of what you're printing, right? It probably leaves a really cool surface on it. Yeah, I have it sitting there, Barking Shelty. I have the plate sitting there. I haven't used it at all, but DW, is that one of the reasons that you use it is because of the texture that it leaves on the bottom? I bet it's a lot like the Wham Bam. The Wham Bam, it leaves the surface like, yeah, really smooth. It leaves it like glass. The Wham Bam is like almost glass. It almost has a reflection on it. I can mix up all of my benchies that I did with those tests or whatever, and I can tell which ones are the Wham Bam because it's like almost like glass. Yeah, really smooth. Interesting, interesting. I'm going to have to try that, DW. That's really cool. I'm definitely going to have to try that. Wow, looks like we have a whole bunch more people that joined. Have been using the engineering plate for PETG. Interesting, interesting. I guess we can quickly go through the pictures one more time here. Looks like we have some people that have joined. I'll go through here while we chat with everybody here. Hey, Renee from Boston. I just put in an order for my X1C. I can't wait. What's the shipping time on that? If you don't mind us asking there, Renee. And welcome from Boston. You won't regret it. All of us here have a really good time with our X1Cs. I'll go through here and show. We kind of went through all of these in a little bit of detail, but I'll go through some of these prints so you can see them. Where's everybody else coming from? Hey, the Linden Doctor. You have about 240 trouble-free hours on your X1 Carbon, delivered on 4/10/23. What is everybody else's experience? I don't know about trouble-free, but again, I don't always follow the directions, so I'm probably the reason for that, but mine runs pretty perfect as well. Since I've done the calibration, it runs even better. I still can't get over Sunlu. You said Sunlu metal on this one, Steven? I'm going to have to get some of this. I really like the shine on that. Just looks awesome. Crandon, Wisconsin. So I used to live in St. Paul, Minnesota way back in the day. I'm coming from Colorado today, the Linden Doctor, but I used to live real close to Wisconsin. Or this is Simoleon. Sorry, Stephen. This is Simoleon's print. Sunlu Meta. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order some of this. And then really cool wheels, stand for the RC car or truck. Like I said, I know some of the rock crawling people that I know probably like to have a little rotating stand like this. And Renee, is this your first 3D printer, or do you have another 3D printer? Or is the X1C the first printer that you got? And this is Steven's. This is the Sunlu PLA Silk, I believe. Steven, correct me if I'm wrong, but this one turned out really nice as well. It almost looks like real copper. I mean, it looks like it's real metal. I have not done any videos on TPU, Linden Doctor. So, as I said before, I don't always read instructions, and I kind of just dive into stuff for good or for bad. So, and this is something stupid, Bambu. I do have a roll of TPU, and I put it in the AMS, which you're not supposed to do. And this stupid thing let me load it all the way in there, and then told me it wouldn't print it and I wasn't supposed to have it in there. And if you've ever done that, there's a couple of videos as well, one of which I had to watch. You can't get the TPU back out of there once it goes through the AMS. It's too sticky or whatever. It won't come back through there. So you have to take it apart to to get the TPU out of there. So I got to take my AMS apart for the first time because of the TPU. So after that, I haven't messed with it at all. But I do need to make some videos on TPU because I would like to do that. And it's a shame too, because we talked about this on a couple of live streams ago. It would be really nice to print like TPU and PLA or something together to have a flexible piece with a hard piece or something, if you could do that. But you can't use it in the AMS, and using it off of the spool loader, there's no way to pull it all the way back out so that you could load something else in at the same time. But yeah, I do need to do some sort of video on TPU. I'll figure something out cool to print, and I'll do that. Used the default settings, Simoleon, and it came out great. Yeah, it works well off the back loader. Let's see, you make a tire. That's interesting that you say that. One of the RC places that I went to in Denver, there's a guy, actually Colorado Adventure Club prints out the inserts for the RC tires. And there's another guy at this shop that printed out the inserts in there. So it'd be interesting to print those out different ways as well. Different ways that you print it out would yield different results in how it acts as a tire or whatever. But yeah, I'll have to find something cool to print in TPU. And then this is probably the coolest one. This is a toilet paper holder, which is pretty awesome. It's just so much detail on this one. It looks really cool. Looks like our print is done. Let's take a look at that. So yeah, just like the last time, really it's the three in the middle that make the difference. I don't think you need to print the rest of these. that are on there. I'll pull out a camera here in a minute and do the rest of that. But whenever you're doing this first pass of the calibration of the flow rate, really, again, if it's outside of those, there's probably something wrong with the filament or your printer. So I think you could just print these three, and those are the three that I'm going to be looking at right now again. So I'll do that, and I'll do the second pass, and then once I get this fully calibrated, I'll leave in the notes what I used for the PLA basic for the Bambu. And really the only things that I think I'll need to change on here are the flow ratio, and I already changed the pressure advance to 0.024. But once I get done calibrating the flow ratio on this one and the volumetric speed, which I don't know, this thing prints at that speed pretty fine, so I don't think I'll be changing that one, but I will do the test. I'll leave in the notes whatever the results are, so if you guys use them or want to use them, you can. I'd recommend that you do those and just look at these at a camera. And again, I got a really good tip. I think it was today. Somebody said to hold a light horizontal to these, and that will show you the lines in it a lot better. I thought that was a great tip. But wow, we had a really good stream this evening. We're coming up on 3 minutes. Any questions, comments, anything? Renee, if you get yours this week and can print some stuff out, send us in the prints that you do. We'd love to see them. But otherwise, we're about 2 minutes till the top of the hour. I guess we'll end it here if there's nothing else. But are you going to show us your new studio? Yes, DW. Coming soon. I'm building the display table in my wood shop right now. So once I get that built, I need, while the glue's drying tomorrow, I'll be painting the walls and printing more honeycomb things. But yeah, in the next couple of videos, you'll see the new studio, D-Dub. Samoan, have a good one, buddy. Appreciate it. How many hours do I have on my printer, Linden Doctor? I don't know. Heather Lynn, good night. Hey, Colorado Adventure Club. Everybody was oohing and awing at your prints and your lights. See you next week, Robert. Linden Doctor, I got mine the day before Christmas, so December 24th, 2022. So I'm about five months on there. Have a great rest of your day, Stephen. Thank you for joining from down under again. We always appreciate it. And thank you for sending in your prints. Peter, good night. Thank you again, everybody, for sending in your prints. And don't forget to send them in next week. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see everybody next week, and see everybody tomorrow for the new video. Thank you. Have a good night.